Hi, it's Anushka here, and oh no, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, do you like my nails? They're like black. I'm emo. No, sorry. Sorry, okay. Hi, it's Anushka here. No, I'm really cringy. What am I doing? Oh, don't know what that was. I'm a very cringy person. I don't know how to start this video. Yay! I don't know what's going on with my voice either. Hi. I don't know what I'm saying! This is awkward, okay. Hi. This is going to be a long video, so settle in. But basically, this video is going to be a challenge of sorts. It's going to be about... What's it going to be about? I know what I'm talking about, I just don't know how to word it. How do I start this? Hi! This is going to be a long video, so gonna have to settle in, get your popcorn, you know. I promise this wasn't written by ChatGPT, I'm not that good at memorization. But this is going to be a long video where it's half introducing the characters of my book series that I've written, not published, and 2 is like basically a cosplay challenge of it. So I will get my laptop and consult myself, and then I will be back. So basically, this will be a cosplay challenge where I will present So basically, okay, hold on. So basically, this will be a cosplay challenge where I will present descriptions of each character and you will get the chance to cosplay them. I did this because I figured it'd be fun, but also as an introduction to the kind of worlds that I've built in writing and stuff, and it would also make me really happy, so I decided why not? Let's try it and see if anyone was interested. These are characters from my book series, so it's called the Shifting Veil series. The way it works is anyone can cosplay any character regardless of race, as long as you mention that it's like an interpretation of the characters. For example, I will be cosplaying my own characters, but they're not all the same race as me, so as long as you say like it's not entirely canon, that's fine, in my opinion. I'm not meaning to be offensive or anything. I also don't think age matters, but I would say be careful in characters that I will mention going forward. I will tag every cosplay in a community post and add each one to a playlist specifically for this challenge. There will also be a special shout out on my community post to the individual I feel most embodied the character that they chose to portray. If you want any further details, then feel free to message me on Discord, Instagram, or under community posts or videos specifically for this challenge. I would say limit it to this challenge's posts because it's a special thing, you know? There are some side characters in my books I have not mentioned in this, that I will not mention in this challenge. Usually the more adult characters, so basically one of my OC's parents, one of my OC's dad, one of my OC's dad. Yeah, that doesn't grammatically make sense, but it's okay. And also a younger brother. Just because one, I don't really know, it would feel weird to see like that, but also I couldn't come up with songs for them. So yeah, without any further ado, we're going to get into the characters. So the first one is Varaya Sylvanas. She's one of my 3 main characters. She's half fae. She's half fae and half human, but her human side is nobility because her dad's a lord, if I can get my words out. And in the first book we follow her storyline as she travels to court as per a royal summoning. Now Varaya is very talented. She's impulsive, she is reckless, observant, selfish, kind, intelligent, considering and calculating. Though I would say because of her recklessness, her intelligence does get diminished. I can't get my words out today. But that's her personality. She has the kind of mannerisms she would have is blinking fast, smirking, smiling widely, and fidgeting / other nervous tics. You can probably guess, wait, maybe not. Basically, so a lot of her mannerisms are when she's around Rion. Rion is the next character I will go into, and they are love interests. Right, songs of Variah. War of Hearts by Ruel, Middle of the Night by Ellie Duhay. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Saints by Echoes, Glass Heart by Tommy Prophet and Sam Tinners, Runaway by Aurora, Will I Make It Out Alive by Tommy Prophet and Jesse Early, Fighter by Christina Aguilera, Monster from Epic the Musical, Accidentally in Love by Counting Crows, Young and Beautiful by Lana Del Rey, My Love Is Mine All Mine by Mitski, Wicked Game by Ursine, Volpine and Annika, Bring Me Back to Life by Chris Gray, Night We Met by Lord Huron, and Wildflower by Billie Eilish. If you want to choose any songs I haven't listed here, then feel free. These are just the ones I feel best embody her character. So that is Variah. We'll now get on to Rion. The next character is Rion Nyvaris. He is another one of my 3 main characters. He is the Crown Prince and he's completely human. So yeah, he is the Crown Prince of the court that she is summoned, Variah is summoned to. So basically, she gets called to the palace he lives in as to be part of his court, basically. Rion's personality is that he is rebellious, he is very arrogant, he is considerate, he is thoughtful, he is flirty, he is sick of being patronised, he's intelligent and he's observant. I would say he's more observant than, more intelligent than Variah because she's too reckless. Anyway, his mannerisms are smirking, running hands through his hair and tilting his head in question, in charm, in whatever kind of way. Just bear in mind these are kind of starting mannerisms. If you want to do any other ones, that is completely up to you. This is just my notes and it took me ages to write this down, so don't come for me when some of them are shorter than others, please. Okay, anyway, songs for Rion would be Boys Beware by Mad Sai, I don't know if I pronounced that right, War of Hearts by Ruel, Legends Are Made by Sam Tinners, Love Story by Ndilla, Ordinary by Alex Warren, Wanna Be Yours by Arctic Monkeys, House of Memories by Panic at the Disco, Let the World Burn by Chris Gray, I'm Yours by Isabel La Rosa, Bring Me Back to Life by Chris Gray, The Night We Met by Lord Huron, and Teeth by 5 Seconds of Summer. Now we will be moving on to Theron. Now, Theron is the last one of my 3 main characters. A few of my friends have read my books and she is pretty much the favourite. I would agree with that because I do love her. She is Fae. The way Fae work in my books is that they have control over all the elements. If you've read a lot of fantasy books, there are often different world building techniques and magic systems and whatever, but the way it works in my world is that basically humans cannot access magic, but Fae can, and Fae have access to all the elements. So basically fire, water, earth and air. There is also another one called Aether Magic, but it's basically seen as very unethical, dangerous, not very good, and a lot of Fae are quite peaceful, so they don't really like the Aether Magic. We'll go into that at a different time. A major part of her story is that she's also a lesbian because I felt it fit the story. I'm sorry to say that she is in love with someone who does not love her back. Or she was, or she will be, or whatever, I suppose we're not going to say that, but basically she's a lesbian. And I love it, to be honest. She's actually, her character development is one of my favourites for all my characters because yeah, she's naive, a little simple-minded, black and white thinking, optimistic, sweet, bubbly, powerful, emotional, and led by her heart. In a lot of ways, she's similar to me. But she's one of those simple kind of characters who gets a lot of character development in a way that I really love. I actually genuinely do love Farron. And Mayan, you love her too, don't you? Yeah, she's Mayan's favourite character. I don't blame her. Some mannerisms Farron has is grinning, dancing, skipping, brushing hair past hair. It's basically very joyful, sweet kind of mannerisms. She's a very innocent kind of character as well. Songs: Soldier Poet King by the Oh Hellos, The Resistance by Skillet, Confident by Demi Lovato, Die With A Smile by Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga, Grenade by Bruno Mars, again Unrequited Love, Legendary from Epic the Musical, She Likes a Boy by Nadia, it's like the X in the middle, I don't know how to say those, I'm sorry, I'm really bad at pronouncing names, Sisyphus by Lilith Max, they were just children audio, like the good one. Orion by Lilith Max and Golden Brown by The Stranglers. Right, so next we have Solara Arvel. Where do I begin with this? She's a noble of court. She is highly ranked because she's the general's daughter. She is human, so no abilities, and she relies usually on weaponry, especially her dagger. She's one of the antagonists in my books. I do not like her. She may seem like a diva initially, but I do not like her. I do not like her. Anyway, she is sly, she is cunning, she's intelligent, she's manipulative, she is possessive, she is talented, she is challenging, she's always trying to throw you off guard, she's competitive, she's always 3 steps ahead, and she's very strong. Mannerisms: smirks, smug/satisfied smiles, tossing dagger in air. She is the type to run a tongue along her teeth, but she never does it in the books. Tilting head, cat-like grin, serpent-like movements in terms of like sneakiness. That's another theme that I mention a lot in my books. Songs/audios, the real mature Pugsy audio, you know, Wednesday's part. Look What You Made Me Do by Taylor Swift, Play With Fire by Sam Tinez, Enemy by Imagine Dragons, You Should See Me in a Crown by Billie Eilish, Paint It Black by Hidden Citizens, Nightmare by Deriva Cat, Lay All Your Love in Me by ABBA, The Red Means I Love You by Mads Buckley, and Boyfriend by Dove Cameron. Something else I will say is she's so bad, and I hate her so much, and a lot of my mates hate her so much, that we literally, one of my group chats is called Solara Assassination Group Chat, and it has this as the profile picture. Yeah, that's how bad it is. We're now going to move on to the more side characters in the first book. So next we have Velra Duskwatch. So she is Varaya's new bodyguard, previously her father's. She's sent to bring Varaya to the palace. She gets on well with Varaya as they know each other well. She's more of a supporting character, like I mentioned. Her personality is that she's very dedicated, intelligent, humorous, observant, thoughtful, and kind. Mannerisms are very stoic, except from around Varaya, in which case she's usually smiling, and she has very folded arms, very like hands on hips. No, not really hands on hips. That's honestly, that's more Emmerich, who I'm not going to go into detail, but basically, yeah, I'm going to go on a tangent, so I'm just going to shut up about Emmerich, but he's Rion's brother. Anyway, back to Velra. Songs: Elastic Heart by Sia, Natural by Imagine Dragons, Rise by Katy Perry, Warriors by Imagine Dragons. I don't know how to pronounce this, but Dernier Danse by Indila, I think. Don't come for me on that. And Believer by Imagine Dragons. Speaking of bodyguards, we're now going to come on to Rion's bodyguard. So just coming back to it, Rion is the Crown Prince. So his bodyguard is Silas Holloway. And he has known Rion for a long time. Silas is stoic, rule-following, rarely makes jokes, and is quite skilled in terms of like his protection, like things like in terms of combat training or whatever. I think I got hair in my mouth, sorry. Anyway, mannerisms is arms folded, hands clasped, spine straight, basically a perfect bodyguard. In inverted commas, because everyone has like different definitions of perfect, whatever. Anyway, songs, I haven't got many for him. Fighter by The Score, Angel by Massive Attack, Legends Are Made by Sam Tinners, and Watch Your Back by Sam Tinners. Next we have Zevik Myleth. I will give you a warning note. If you're below the age of definitely 16 but also 18 and want to cosplay a character, just be careful with Zevik, as he does push it. Let's just say I don't like him, and I don't want like minors to cosplay him without knowing that he represents a harsher topic in my books. You can cosplay if you want, but I also just wanted to mention him because he features in particularly Theron's POVs. So yeah, he's Fae, he favours the fire element. Personality, he's fiery. Funny joke. I know, not funny, don't slap, okay? He's incessant, he's dangerous, and he doesn't take no for an answer, which, you know, you can tell that I don't like him because he doesn't take no for an answer. He smirks a lot, he raises his eyebrows, he does mocking smiles / laughs. If you want to cosplay him, songs are Play With Fire by Sam Tinners, Gossip by Maneskin, My Shot by I can't say it, I'm sorry, the name. Say My Name by Alex Bryman and Sophia Ann Caruso, basically Beetlejuice's Part 2 Theron, and Devil in Disguise by Marino. Zevik is also a topic of hatred in the Solara assassination group chat, so I think Solara's worse, but you know, yeah. Okay, next character. My legs have started to cramp, so that's fun. Anyway, we're going to move on to Vivian Tarwin. She's a noble court, she's relatively powerful. Again, a side character. She has a brother who I will come to. There's the next character. Basically, Vivian is protective of her younger brother. She's intelligent, she's closed off, she's talented, and she's strong. Her mannerisms might include cracking knuckles and clenching / unclenching fists. I don't have many, but that can be up to you to say any others, because she does not feature that much in first book, at least. I'm not gonna spoil it. Anyway, songs Champion by Tommy Prophet and Nicole Serrano, Be Careful by Tommy Prophet and Lady Jones, The Fall by Tommy Prophet and Sam Tinners, Spiral by Tommy Prophet and Sam Tinners. You can tell who my favourite artist is, can't you? Legends Never Die by League of Legends, Gossip by Maneskin, Little Fight Left by Tommy Prophet and Flurry and Jung Youth, Ain't No Crying by Derivacart, Born for This by The Score, and With You Till the End by Tommy Prophet and Sam Tinners. So now we are on to the next character, who will be Vivian's brother, who is Gideon Tarwin. He's again relatively powerful, again a side character. A lot of his songs are similar to Vivian simply because they are so close, and I feel that if this was a musical, then they would definitely have a lot of duets. I like them both. Anyway, his personality, he's nervous, he's shy, he's kind, he's friendly, he's thoughtful, and he's loyal, which you would think is very strange for a noble of court. That's exactly why I made him like that. I like to defy the norms. It's why I do a lot of diversity in my books. I like having not everything exactly as you imagine it. And I really like him. Anyway, mannerisms would be shifting on feet, scratching neck, inspecting things, basically very nervous tics, because he's a very nervous, shy, awkward character. Songs The Fall by Tommy Prophet and Sam Tinners, Awakened by League of Legends, Let Me Make You Proud by Varian, Die With a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, in like a sibling love way for Vivian. Little Fight Left by Tommy Prophet and Flurry and Jung Youth, Carry On by The Score, Hurricane by Flurry, Born for This by The Score, With You Till the End by Tommy Prophet and Sam Tinners. I think it would be really, really cute to see duets with Vivian and Gideon. Like, that would actually be really cute. But Mariah and Rihanna would be even more cute, if you get what I'm saying. Sorry. Anyways, now we're going to move on. We're going back to big characters, because these characters were introduced later on in the series. I'm not telling which part of the series. Basically, in this series, there are 5 books, and the ones I've just read up to were all introduced in book 1. I'm not saying where the following characters are going to be introduced, because there is 3 more, and I'm not going to say when they're introduced. Anyway, the next one is Zenobia Valioref. Again, one of my Anna's favourites. She is the Fae Princess, and therefore very, very powerful as a result. Her mother is a cold, cruel ruler, so for Zenobia that is all she has ever known. She is cruel, she is powerful, she is cold, she is merciless, she is conflicted, she is morally grey, and she's quite mocking. I promise she does get better, okay? You gotta trust me on this. Like, she's really bad, but I promise she gets better, okay? Quite a lot of her mannerisms are gonna be like cruel smile, mock widening eyes. You can decide the rest. There are a lot of songs I've put down here. Song by Ramstein, I hope I've not said that wrong. The Seed by Aurora, Warriors by League of Legends, Devil in Disguise by Marino, Soldier by Tommy Prophet, and Flurry. They were just children audio, it's like the cruel one. Pacify Her by Melanie Martinez, Angel by Massive Attack, In Another World by EJ, Cardigan by Taylor Swift, War of Hearts by Roel, Wrong by Chris Gray, Wanna Be Yours by Arctic Monkeys, Hell's Coming With Me by Poor Man's Poison, Inferno by Suburban and Bella Porch, and Lonely King by CG5. I promise we're almost there, I've got 2 more left. The next one is Zara Azar. She is Fae, she is from Verin's home village. Her personality is sweet, caring, sarcastic, observant, bubbly and kind. She'd basically be a perfect best friend. I do love her. Mannerisms be like smiling, softening up eyes, frown/furrowed brow if one of her friends is upset, or that kind of thing. Songs would be There's a Hero in You by Tommy Prophet and Flurry, Soldier Poet King by the Oh Hellos, Golden Brown by the Stranglers, Heaven and Earth by Tommy Prophet and Sam Tinez, Lovely by Tommy Prophet and Flurry, Onward and Upward by Tommy Prophet and Flurry, Heroes Never Die by Unsecret, Carol of the Bells by Lindsay Sterling, and The Witch's Daughter by Ashley Serena. Last character. So the last character is, again, one of my favourites. I love a lot of characters in this series, to be honest. You've got Eryx Tavros. Eryx Tavros is a Fae. They and Zara are best friends, and they are from Berin's home village. Right, personality. Eryx is a jokester. They make jokes of everything. They are funny, they are sarcastic, mischievous, they are good at cheering people up, they are flirtatious after meeting the right person, they are a little insensitive, and sometimes take jokes too far. Mannerisms: grinning, slinging an arm around friends' shoulders, and eyes lighting up with mischief. Basically, they're comic relief. I really do love Eryx. Songs for Eryx. So you've got Confident by Demi Lovato, Here I Am by Brooke. Tommy Prophet and Brooke? Yeah. Unagi Experience by Daniel Hope, You're Welcome by Dwayne Johnson, Valerie by Mark Ronson and Amy Winehouse, One Kiss by Calvin Harris and Dua Lipa, Take All My Love by Reed Wanderer and Aurora Olivias, Tomorrow We Fight by Tommy Prophet and Sversina. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. Probably should have looked up how to pronounce these. Anyway, Counting Stars by One Republic, Wouldn't You Like from Epic the Musical, Hermes' Part, and Dangerous from Epic the Musical, also Hermes' Part. Anyway, that was a whistle-stop tour through all the extremely significant characters. Or some of them weren't mentioned, but regardless, that was a whistle-stop tour through the characters, and you can feel free to cosplay them. If you do end up cosplaying them, definitely give me a tag in the description. I would love to see them, like it would genuinely make my day. But yeah, I hope that gave you a little bit of an insight into the characters in my book, and let me know if you want to, you know, see any quotes from it or read any of it. The plan is to get it published, but I don't know if that's going to happen because getting a book published is hard. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this was insightful, and yeah, I'm sorry I'm not good at public speaking or just speaking in general. I'm also a bit awkward like Gideon. Yeah. Don't ask why I created a YouTube if I'm like this. I just don't know how to conclude. Like, how do you end a video? I genuinely don't know. Like, thanks for watching. Bye! It just feels awkward. Like, I don't really know. So, yeah, I guess I'll say that. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.